What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Mantah Corp Facility in Jurassic World Evolution 2. We are back here, and I seem to have made some mistakes when it comes to the placing of creatures in biomes. So, like, apparently the Stegos and Ceratos, they didn't live in the redwoods. They live in this tropical rainforest bit. We got the T-Rexes right, but the others don't live here, so I have like a list on another page. Let me just look at that real quick. But yeah, so we're going to have to do some moving around. But first, what we need to do is make some other enclosures. We need to make another enclosure that's like, I don't know, the desert, so we can move like Pierce over to the desert, as well as the tropical jungle, so we can move the Stegos and the Brachiosaurs over to that biome. And then just so, like, the biomes aren't bare with the ones that have, like, a limited amount of creatures in them, we'll probably, like, add on a little bit. We'll have some fun with it. So this might be the desert. This is where the Spinosaurus and the Kentro's gonna go. And I'll probably add some stuff in, just so we have more of a variety of creatures. It won't be exactly like Mantah Corp Island, but it will be something anyway. So if we put the desert in, we'll put the sand in. So what we'll do when we add creatures in, we'll add creatures that we think could fit in a biome like this one. Like in a biome like a desert biome or a snow biome or anything like that. So let me fill this up with sand to give the illusion that this is supposed to be a desert. So this will be where Pierce, the Spino, and other creatures will go. So yeah, let's get Pierce out here. No, that's the wrong thing. So let's find Pierce and bring him over to the new enclosure. So where's Pierce? There you are. Let's trank Pierce. We'll get another hatchery just to make this a little bit easier. Make it a little more convenient so I don't have to, like, move the hatcheries. So in here, we will have, like, 4 more Kentros. We'll throw a few more Kentros in here. We'll give them different color schemes. We'll go with the Camp Cretaceous variant, but we'll give them, like, different color schemes. So we have that. And then, of course, we need the Spinosaurus. I think the default color would probably do. What we could do for, like, other desert creatures, I'm thinking, like, Oviraptor might fit in here. Maybe Gigantoraptor. Just so we have, like, more of, like, a variety of creatures living in here. Anything that could live in a desert. That's kind of the goal. All right. Pierce, you're being moved over here. Let's release the 4 other Kentros, so at least you'll have friends, more of your kind, living here. Alright, let's get Asset 87 over here. There are the Eddies. Alright, let's add in the Baryonyx and the Compies while we're here. So there's only one Baryonyx, and that is Limbo. So we're going to throw one in with the Limbo skin, and then maybe we'll put some Piscivore feeders in here, just so you have fish for days. There we go, we'll put 10 fish feeders in, even though you'll just have the one Baryonyx. And then we'll get, like, the tropical jungle area going. So there's like 5 different biomes, actually. Alright, let's get the one berry in here. The berry lives in the redwoods, apparently. There we go. We got the Baryonyx living in here. Let's get all 10 Compies. Let's release the Spino, anyway, so we have Asset 87. Not exactly the right color, but you know what? I don't like that. Let's go with the Death Valley instead. Capture that Spino, get him out of here. Alright, so we need a fish feeder. A bunch of fish feeders. just so the Spino has food. Maybe add in, like, Oviraptor, and maybe, we'll add in Oviraptor for the desert, and maybe we'll add in... What about Nigersaurus? That could fit maybe the desert. I don't know. Maybe not. There we go. That's Oviraptor done. And I'm trying to think. What else could we throw in? Maybe... Maybe a couple more herbivores, like maybe Homalocephalae. That could work. Yeah, I'm just trying to make the desert, you know, not bare. I could totally see Concavinator in a desert area. I could totally see that. So we'll add in 2 Concavinators. We can't add Smilodon because Smilodon's not in the game. Unless I get a mod, which I have no intention on modding the game at all. Sell that Spino and then release the other Spino. No, don't release it just yet, though. Let's release the Oviraptors first. Oh, I thought the game crashed for a second because it kind of froze a little. Alright, are you guys all set with... Alright, ground leaf. Okay. We can add some ground leaf. There we go. We got some ground leaf in the area. We'll put some more food here, some ground leaf. And then we'll leave room for any, like, other stuff that lives here. Alright, let's get Homalocephalae going. Alright, are you guys good? Ground leaf and ground fiber? Alright, you should be all set. The Concavinators... We'll give them some carnivore feeders just so they don't go hungry. There we go. And finally, Asset 87. The real Asset 87. That is a lot better. A lot better. We went with that. Asset 87. There we go. What are your traits? Or traits? Traits, that's it, traits. Nocturnal, humble, and aggressive. Alright, cool. And then we'll add in the compies as well. Alright, that's the compies done. And now we should probably add in the jungle area. I know I said like one enclosure or one biome at a time. That's a gate. We want fences. There we go. And then this will be like the tropical jungle area. So we can decorate this. Let's get some water going. We have like water over here. And then we'll have like decorations. That'll be like tropical. There we go. And then we can add in whatever afterwards. So jungles have a lot of dirt, don't they? Let's see. Dirt. Or sand. Some sand. No, dirt. Make it dirt. Alright, so we got a lot of transporting to do. First, we gotta capture them. Alright, let's start with raptors. Yeah, we'll start with the raptors, because they're relatively small. Then we'll go for something a little bit bigger. The Ceratos. While we wait for them to get tranked, let's go ahead and put some feeders around here. So they have feeders for days. And then we'll start releasing the Ankylosaurs. We'll start releasing Bumpy. There we go. For you, we just have the one. Just the one Ankylo. And just the one Carnotaur. There we go. Let's transfer the Raptors. Alright. How about the Ceratos? Going after the Ceratos now. Multi-select. Alright, that should be every species being transported. we're just going to go ahead and get them out of here. And in the meantime, we got the stegosaurs being transported. What do these guys want? Ground fruit and ground fiber. Not a problem. We'll give you some ground fiber, so you'll be happy on that front. Now let's get Bumpy out here while we wait for that. The one ankylo. And then we'll move on to Toro afterwards. Oh yeah, we put the raptors in already. I thought we forgot the raptors, but no, those were the first things we put in. And finally, Toro. Go. We'll rename you Toro, so you can be that, and then we'll rename you Bumpy, so we know. We got the raptors, the Ceratos. We should probably name one of the Brackies, Did I forget about you? No, I didn't. That helicopter's about to get you right now. We'll name one of the Brackies Firecracker. We'll name you Firecracker. So at least we have one named Firecracker. If you remember, that's from Camp Cretaceous, if you remember. I feel like we need one more creature. Maybe like a larger herbivore for the desert area. Yeah, just so the desert area has a little more diversity, you know what I'm saying? Alright, let's see. What about Iguanodon? We'll throw in the evolution Iguanodons. We'll release them. So yeah, that Brachiosaurus is being transferred over. Now the Redwoods looks bare. We just have T-Rex, Compies, and one berry. You know, let's change this up a bit to make it not as bare. I got it. We'll add Edmontosaurus in here. We'll add Edmontosaurus. That'll be herbivores taken care of. One herbivore, anyway. And then maybe a Apatosaurus? Or Diplodocus. How about Diplodocus? Yeah, like, I know they weren't really in Mantah Corp or the TV show, but the Redwoods just looks very bare with just those carnivores. So let's just get a bunch of herbivores to, like, give it more variety. What about Maiasaura? We could throw Maiasaura in. That'll give more variety. And we'll add one more herbivore. What about Triceratops? I could totally see it living in here. Yeah, let's get Triceratops going. Let's release the Edmontos first. Go. And finally, we'll release the Diplodocus last. Let's get the Maiasaura in next. I think Maiasaura are pretty underrated creatures. They look kind of scientifically accurate. I'm not sure how accurate they look, but like, I think they did a good job, Frontier, with the Maiasaura. Alright, that's Maiasaura done. Let's release the Trikes next. Alright, we've got a Jurassic Park Triceratops, I see. I like the Jurassic Park Triceratops. That looks cool. And finally, the Diplodocus, just so we can add more variety. There we go. So that's Diplodocus being added in. And now that looks a lot more, like, varied and whatever. And so does the desert, and so does the jungle. But yeah, with that, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.